Thanks for joining us this Friday afternoon. I'm Jennifer Meckles.
And I'm Kim Christensen. We're following that plane crash that happened in Arvada, which so many people witnessed. But first, we want to start with weather because it's windy, it's stormy. We're seeing a lot of clouds out there, and a lot of people want to get their Friday going, Kathy.
I know, and I am right there with them. But Kim, the winds of change are blowing, big changes for the weekend. But let's talk about today. Sunshine and mid-90s. The thunderstorms developed before that crash in the Arvada area, but they were not in the Arvada area. So I don't know that they're looking at weather in terms of a cause for that. But when the thunderstorms came off the foothills after that, they turned severe because a severe thunderstorm means a wind gust of 58 miles per hour or greater. And we've had wind gusts in and around the metro area to 55 and 65 miles per hour. Severe thunderstorm watch in southeastern Colorado until 9 o'clock tonight. Clear right now in Denver and calm. The thunder showers have moved off to the east, but did turn severe because of the potential for those gusts over 55 and 60 miles per hour. No hail reported, have not had any reports of a lot of thunder and lightning around the area. Today's severe weather was all about the wind, and the peak gusts I've seen so far was in Broomfield at 67 miles per hour, a non-thunderstorm wind gust that continues along a line south of Kiowa and down toward the Monument area. These storms will continue into southeastern Colorado, no longer severe, but heavy rain for you in Campo, Springfield, and Kim, in the town of Kim, we're tracking some thunderstorms in that area as well. Temperatures in the mid-90s today, coming down now out of the mid-90s because of the cloud cover and the thunderstorms we're tracking. Coming up in Maine weather, we'll continue to track those gusty thunderstorms, no longer severe, but there is severe potential with storms both Saturday afternoon and Sunday, along with a cooler weather trend. I'll cover all of it in weather coming up.
Really scary images in a quiet neighborhood in Arvada this morning. 4 people are hospitalized after a small plane crashed and caught fire. This moment caught on camera shows the chaos in the moments after. A man comes up with a hose to try and help, and neighbors gather around.
Our crews got on scene within an hour of the first report. Photojournalist Mike Grady gave us a view after that fire was put out from above. Just about half an hour ago, as crews were trying to dismantle the wreckage to haul away that plane, another fire started at the site.
Really volatile area. First, we want to continue our coverage of that story we've been following all day long. Again, 4 people hurt when this single-engine plane crashed. It happened in someone's front yard at Oberon and Carr. That's just south of West 62nd Avenue, near the train tracks there.
According to flight tracking website FlightAware, this was the path of the plane this morning, taking off from Centennial Airport about 9:30, heading to the Rocky Mountain Airport in Broomfield. Online flight registration shows the registered owner is based in Larimer County. We have 9 News team coverage today at 4. Steve Steger spent the day talking to neighbors in that area.
We want to start with Lauren Scafidi, who's been on the ground. And Lauren, we saw that plane catch fire again within the last hour. Crews really have a lot of work out there.
Yeah, it certainly has been a long day here, and I want to tell you why that this plane lit on fire again. So take a look. You can see that crews are taking apart the plane. They're lifting it up in that crane, and then they're going to put it in this trailer nearby, so that way they can take it to Greeley to get tested a little bit more. But the thing is, they were cutting into one of the wings while they were here, and we're told that there was still some fuel in the plane, and that's when the plane lit on fire again for the second time. The first time is when it crashed down here in this front lawn. So good thing that there is a very heavy first responder presence here. Firefighters were able to put out that fire pretty quickly, but we did listen to the conversation that the pilot had with air traffic control, and you can hear the pilot saying that his oil light goes on and he's going to look for some sort of maybe field to land his plane in, and he says that he's got to put the plane down. So this is where he landed, right in the front lawn. So the NTSB tells us that he was only up in the air for about 15 minutes. Here's what else the pilot had to say before he realized something was wrong.
They will look for the most suitable place to land the aircraft. A roadway is not a bad place to land an aircraft. It really isn't. A railroad track isn't. A longitudinal area is not a place to land it. So I'm sure what was going through the pilot's mind was, I see the roadway, I need to get this aircraft down, let's give it a shot.
That was actually the NTSB responding to the pilot landing here on the road. We do have some sound with the pilot and air traffic control. Maybe we can get to that in a little bit. I'll step out of the way so you can see exactly what's happening as I reiterate what exactly happened here this morning. The National Transportation Safety Board says the plane took off from the Centennial Airport around 9:30 this morning, likely headed for the Rocky Mountain National Airport. The plane lit on fire the first time after it crashed down, filling the air with flames. The NTSB confirmed 4 people were in the plane. They all went to the hospital with serious or critical injuries. We can only confirm 2 of the 4 are adults. We don't know how old the other 2 are, and we don't know their relation. The NTSB says that no one was thrown from the plane when it landed here. The NTSB says that they'll be here investigating through the day and possibly even tomorrow because, like I said, the next steps are to get this plane to Greeley so that the NTSB can keep on investigating. Coming up at 5, we'll explain exactly what else is going on here. And luckily, the people who live in this home are okay. The homeowners, I believe, are sitting maybe right under the garage where it's open there, kind of just getting a front row seat to everything that's happening here. So again, they are okay. But Steve Stager is also in the area. And Steve, you've been talking to neighbors here. What have neighbors been saying?
Lauren, we're getting an idea of just how this plane got to where it got. So I want to walk you through what the neighbors here have told me. So if you look up at that evergreen tree right there off in the distance, you can see what looks like a little nick in it. This plane nicked that tree and then slammed into the fence right here. Just a little scratch you can kind of see on the fence line there from the wing. I'm told by the neighbor who lives here, the wing went underneath this truck unbelievably. And then as you follow these orange spots on the ground, you kind of see some of the marks where this plane made its way through. The investigators have marked a lot of these areas just to show you. You can see scuff marks all going down the sidewalk here. It traveled quite a bit down this sidewalk. In fact, you can see some of the char marks on the sidewalk right here before it landed in this front yard where investigators are now trying to take it apart. Now, I'm told by one man who saw the plane in the sky that this plane was spewing something before it crashed.
I was driving to get mulch.
The monotony of a Friday morning broke quickly for Evan Sherlock.
I saw an airplane and its wings were tilting side to side, and out the back of it looked like fuel or something it was dumping.
The unusual sight on his way to the garden store quickly disappeared.
And next thing I know, you see a giant plume of smoke, and I was there within a minute.
Within that minute,
everything was on fire.
He couldn't believe his eyes.
So I quick snapped a photo. There was a guy with a garden hose trying to spray things down. There was construction crews that were running over and giving people water, tending to the people who had left the plane.
Blocks away from the crash,
the neighbor told me that it came right over here.
Dee Williams said she missed it, though it's hard to miss the impact in her yard.
I'm just checking my tree because someone told me that the plane took some of the top of it.
Her neighbor told us off camera the plane clipped Dee's tree, bounced off of a neighboring fence and off of Oberon Road, then crashed a block further up the road. She says she saw workers who had been in a neighboring backyard rush to help the 4 people who were inside. A wild scene.
It rattled me pretty hard this morning.
That hits very close to home.
But that's too close for comfort, as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, Steve. As this story continues to develop, we're going to bring you updates, and you can always get them by downloading our free 9 News app.
Back to our weather headlines today. Some Coloradans lost power after that gusty storm moved in this afternoon. The Excel outage map says about 4,200 people don't have electricity right now. Most of those outages are in the Denver area.
Denver firefighters are working to put out a house fire near DIA and Green Valley Ranch. In the last half hour, firefighters told us the house fire spread to 2 houses near 44th and Biscay Street, just south of the airport. Crews say they searched the homes. They're putting out hot spots. No reports of anyone being hurt.
And that strong windstorm caused some real problems for people at Stanley Lake in Westminster today, paddleboarders specifically. Westminster Fire says Stanley Lake Rangers rescued 13 people today. We have seen this before. The wind whips up the waves. It creates dangerous conditions. Firefighters say in this case, everyone's okay. They did not need any hospital care. Firefighters say the people were wearing life jackets.
The National Western Center is adding some space to keep people on site and to offer some extra parking.
Today, they released a new redevelopment agreement. This includes a hotel. They also plan to include an equestrian center that can host more than 4,000 people and more than 500 horse stalls, plus a new garage, adding nearly 600 more parking spots. In addition to the National Western Stock Show, this center would host year-round events, and the hotel will have about 200 rooms right next to the equestrian center.